Hey guys, it's time to get ready for the concert. It is the get ready with me with the Q&A. So we're just gonna start off by cleansing because I purposely didn't cleanse this morning because I needed my face to be fresh for this afternoon, which I'm pretty sure it's gonna melt off because of weather outside. Okay, so we're just gonna start off with the first question. First question is, Mas bahasa cakap Indonesia gak? Saya bisa cakap bahasa tapi dikit-dikit aja. Kan bedanya enggak sebesar gitu bahasa Indonesia dengan bahasa Brunei. Tapi, okay, the thing is, I am scared that the phrases that I use or like the words that I use when I'm speaking Indonesia is outdated. You know, the trendy words are different now. When I first landed in Bandung, there were two girls in the elevator with me, and this girl was wearing like an asymmetrical shirt, and her friend was like, "Oh, your shirt is asymmetrical. Is it meant to be like that?" And the other girl was like, "Yeah, that's the style." And then the friend was like, "Oh, lucu," which means like, "Oh, that's so cool," or something like that. And from what I knew when I was younger, lucu meant funny. So things must have changed around here. So saya bisa cakap Indonesia tapi nggak selancar bahasa Inggris dan juga bahasa Brunei, okay?
Dan education. Orang-orang pikir I'm just like some type of bimbo. They don't.
Next, what's your favorite Indonesian food so far? Favorite Indonesian food so far? It's not something that I've never tried, but something that I've been eating a lot in Indonesia is ayam bakar. Especially when I'm back at my apartment, I just keep going back to ayam bakar. It's so good and it's so affordable. So I always just keep going back to that. And the sambal here, guys, I'm not even a sambal person and I'm already hooked with the sambal here. Although that's probably what caused my gastric a month ago. What do you miss the most in Brunei? I, of course, miss my family and my friends. It gets so lonely out here. And I also miss driving. I really do miss driving. I am so scared that I might forget how to drive because I'm so used to not driving here that I also miss my bedroom. Your room is just so sacred and you just are used to it, and I miss my room. No matter how comfy your hotel or your apartment is, you always miss your room. And I miss performing. It still feels so weird just not being in the studio and rehearsing. Hopefully I'll get back next year. I'm also afraid that I might lose my dance basics and foundation, so I try to just groove here and there. When I have the time, I'll learn like K-pop routines just to keep my dance muscles fresh. But on top of all, I miss Lily. What's your current favorite memory there so far? Probably gonna be this entire weekend. It's probably gonna be my favorite memory. In Bandung, probably the workshop that I did. I already posted it on my stories. I really enjoyed that workshop. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It really was an intense 5-day workshop. Like, it was just non-stop researching and non-stop just doing work. My brain was working overtime, honestly. I was quite proud of what my team produced, and I had so much fun getting to know the students there too, and the facilitator was so much fun too. So, but I know that there's gonna be more memories made in the next 2 months or so. Okay, I'm just gonna continue. I only have a few questions left. What's your favorite thing about Indonesia so far? Okay, so there's a few. I'm just gonna name about like as much as I can. Number 1 is the public transport. Number 2, a lot of the people here, they just don't care if you're alone. Like, I go to the cafe alone so much and I don't get like ugly looks from people. Unlike in Brunei, if you're alone, people are just gonna stare and like judge you and drag you to film for being alone. I feel a bit comfortable when I'm going out alone, but I do still get lonely and sometimes I do get anxious and I overthink. Another thing, oh my god, Shopee and Tokopedia, like just basically the online shopping here, the shipping is so fast and it's so convenient and affordable. Next is, what is your major? I am a design creative industry major in UBD. I'm in my 3rd year, yeah, which is why I'm here to do my DY. Do you miss performing? Of course I do miss performing. It feels weird to not be in the studio. This is usually the time of the year when we're a lot busier and just learning a lot of routines and already preparing for gigs. But unfortunately, I have to sit out this year, end of year gigs, because I'm not in the country, and it's a win-win. I mean, I get to rest, but I do miss performing a lot. So next, your favorite thing to do in Bandung? So far, I do enjoy just going to the cafe. My AirPods are my best friend. I put them on every time I go to the cafe. Like, the definition of cafe hopping is so real here. It's in Bandung, it's so accessible. You'll walk just 2 minutes away and you'll find a cafe next to a cafe. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that's currently my favorite thing to do other than like rotting in bed and just like being depressed. But yeah, this is gonna be the last question. Do you miss me? Of course, I miss everyone in Brunei, but I miss you the most. If you're the one who asked this question, you know who you are. I miss you. I guess that's basically it for this Q&A. I really want to do more of these in the future, hopefully, if I have the chance to. Maybe when I go see another concert. I'm seeing another concert in November. Let's see how this video does before I start planning the next one. But yeah, that's basically it. Okay, I'm gonna cue the time lapse so I can start getting ready for the concert. Thank you for asking me the questions. Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of the video of the Zero Base 1 experience. It's been 3 days since the concert, and can you see how much of a mess I look right now? But I have something to tell you guys. So I did not vlog much on the day of the concert because I was super anxious, like socially anxious to just vlog in public during the concert, and also because I really just wanted to, you know, immerse myself in the experience and enjoy the concert as it is without just having my phone the entire time. I did vlog a couple of clips while, you know, I had some space and time while waiting for the concert to happen. Yeah, so this video will switch between this sit-down talk format with some of the clips that I filmed during the concert, and I'm just gonna talk about how the experience was for me and just explain a little bit about how things went down the day of the concert. So yeah, I have my notes here. Wait. Ooh. But I have my notes here so that I don't forget any of the details. I wrote it down prior to filming this video, so yes, let's get started. I have my Zero Base 1 merch on for today's video. Literally, guys, this 3 days has not been easy. Like, I genuinely feel like crying every 10 minutes. On top of the concert, there's other underlying issues, but mostly it was because of the concert, okay? So let's start. So this is the fit. We're going denim. And I'm ready to head now to the venue, and I have my light stick. I'll do a separate like what's in my bag later on, maybe when I come back, because I'm kind of in a crunch right now and I just want to go there and relax and try to get a lot of this anxiousness out. I'm a bit nervous, but let's go. So from the last part of the video, I finished getting ready and I immediately took a Gojek to go to the venue. And on the way to the venue, there were so many cute little like fan events. So some of the motorcycles actually had like the members' faces printed behind them, and some of the buses had it too. So it was super cute, and it got me super pumped for the concert too. As soon as I arrived at the venue, I went straight to queue for the sound check, which was like outside of the venue area. And we waited in line for about 5 minutes. Luckily enough, the girls in front of me, they were like, I think a group of 5 friends. So security went up to them and was like, oh, so from this person onwards, we'll transfer you to a different line. So basically, I only had to wait 5 minutes in the heat and immediately got transferred to another line. Basically, as soon as we entered the new line, we were asked to do a bag check. So they just briefly checked our bags. And also we actually had to use transparent bags. So as soon as we did that, we were given our fan banners, super cute, and this was also given for free. And then I went straight into my line. So they divided the queue into like hundreds. So it was queue number 200. So I was the last person on the second row. Basically, you just had to ask around like what their queue number is. So the guy in front of me, his queue number was 198. So I just sat behind him, and then 199 came, and then we all just talked. We are in queue at the moment. Yeah, there's so many people, and it's like an entire swarm of blue. Okay, the next thing you'll see is probably me in the stadium. If you guys know me, I'm an introvert, so I didn't start a conversation as soon as I sat until one of the girls came up and she introduced herself, and then she said, who's your bias? So I introduced myself, and my bias was Jiwoong, and then she was shocked because her bias was Jiwoong too, and the girl next to us, joined in on the conversation, and her bias was Jiwoong too, and there were so many Jiwoong stands, guys. It was so, yeah. And then so we were just talking, and then I had to explain that I'm from Brunei, I'm an exchange student, and it was so fun. They were all really welcoming, and we just talked about our previous concert experiences. And I've actually been to this venue back in 2018 to see Twice, and then it was finally time to enter the venue, and at this point it hasn't hit me yet that I'm about to see them live. So I was pretty chill and composed. I was just like, okay, like any minute now. But as soon as we entered that venue, guys, we're entering the venue. Oh my god. Whoa! I was just screaming to myself. I was like, yo, yo, or like, oh my god, oh my god. And it was honestly insane, like just seeing the stage. And I didn't have a lot of clips of me entering the venue because I kept switching between vlogging and also FaceTiming my friend. Hey, you know who you are, shout out, because she has watched this show with me since like the first episode. So I was like, you know what, I need to like bring her into this experience somehow. So I kept switching between vlogging and FaceTiming with. Okay, so for context, my queue number is queue number 200. You know, you don't know how many 200 people is until you see it in like visually. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I won't be this close to the stage because that's like 200 people. Lo and behold, when I got into the section, there were only like 3 to 5 people in front of me, and I was gagged. I was gagged to the core, and you can see it in the clip here. I was just speechless, and if I just stretched out my arm and hovered over the person in front of me, I'm pretty sure I could have reached one of the members. Like, that's how close I was. I'm not even exaggerating. We waited for about 5 to 10 minutes before the boys came out for sound checks. So basically, I got the sound check package. What a sound check consists of is you get to see them in their casual clothes, and they'll perform maybe 3 to 5 songs. And this is when you get the opportunity to actually interact with the boys up close. And oh my god, when they first started, it felt a bit unreal just to see them up close. And they already had makeup on, but they looked so good, and they looked so wholesome, and they looked oh my god. I don't even know how to explain it, but they just looked so good in front, and they were so close. And Indonesian Zeroses are so loud, you can barely hear what the boys were saying. So basically, the boys talk and then the translator talk. Could barely make a word out of it. That's how loud we were screaming. I remember right before the boys came out, I was just talking to the girls next to me, and I was like, oh, I'm from Brunei. And then they're like, okay, so who's your bias? And then yeah, like the girl next to me was also a Jiwoong stan. So we were just, so they sang 3 songs. They sang Say My Name, Feel the Pop, and I'm pretty sure it was New Kids on the Block. I might be wrong, but I think these were the 3 songs that they sang. And it was a good experience. Like, I am so glad I went for this soundtrack package because it was just, I don't even know what else to say about it. But this next part is honestly the highlight of my 22 years of living. It is when HANBIN noticed me. For context, I have lighter hair color. I'm 5'9" and my queue number is 200. And also, I was holding so many things in my hand. So basically, I had a sling bag, and then I had my sketchbook, I had my light stick in one hand, and then I had my banner. So I had these as well, so I had to hold this. And then these were under my arms, and then with the sketchbook, and my light stick was in my left hand. And the right hand I had reserved for like recording using my phone. Another thing is that the concert culture in Indonesia is that you're not allowed to raise your banners anywhere above eye level. So this is the max. I guess you can't go here. I've seen a few people put their banners up high, and the people behind them actually was telling them off. So that's good. It's out of respect of people behind you. You're not allowed to even have your phone or light stick above eye level. So yeah. And I literally underestimated my queue number because I'm 5'9". I could literally feel myself like protruding from the crowd. You can tell the height difference between me and some of the crowd. Truth be told, the members could probably see me with the lights and everything. I think they probably could see me. So I was just hoping for an interaction of some sort. So during the sound check, the members who were usually at my section, around my section, were Matthew, Jiwoong, Eugene, and then sometimes Ricky and Tere. And then the rest of the members would usually go hover on the other side. And for context, this is where I'm standing around that area. So I had different pages for different members, right? So at first it was Jiwoong, but Jiwoong was just really busy entertaining other fans. At one point I was just like, okay, it's time to grab another member's attention. And so I was like, okay, maybe let's try HANBIN. So I flipped to this page that said, HANBIN, can we please have a whacking dance battle? And if you guys don't know what whacking is, it's a dance genre. I personally really like it, and HANBIN is amazing at it. So I was like, okay, this might be like a fun little interaction if it ever happens. I flipped to that page, and HANBIN is walking towards our area, but is facing away from me. And he starts dancing to the other crowd, right? And I was just like, oh my god, please just turn to me so that I can put this banner up. And he turns around, and immediately as soon as he turns around, my mind was like, this is your time to shine, girl. So I put my banner up to my head without even like telling the people around me what I was gonna do. I would just put the banner up. You can see in the video, he turns and he puts his hand around his eye because it's like the lights are blaring at him, right? So he puts his hand to look at my sign. Actually, I didn't even know it was my sign at first, but he looked like this. And then I remember he looked right into my eye and he pointed at me like this. He pointed at me and then he said, go. He motioned this, which meant like, let's go, because of the dance battle. And then I wasted no time and my hands were full, right? So I just whacked with one arm as hard as, oh my god, as hard as I could. I couldn't even like, the reason why I didn't tell the people around me was because I didn't want to waste any more time just telling like, please video, please video, please video, because he could have just shifted his attention away from me. So I immediately started dancing. And then when I was done, I pointed back at him and then he started dancing. And he started dancing, and you guys can see it in this clip, in this next clip. Right after he started dancing, he did this to me, and then he did a finger heart to me. Guys, I don't even... How was that? This was 1 in a million chances, and it actually... And then the next thing I knew was the amount of times I almost did a trust fall in this concert was insane, and I did not trust anyone in that crowd, to be honest. They weren't my friends, I didn't know who they were, and I almost collapsed multiple times. And then the sound check ended and I was just freaking out. But then we waited for about 2 hours. While waiting for 2 hours, this is when the other section comes in. So the seating section, the rest of the standing section came in and prepped for the concert. And there was some drama happening in the crowd. I had my AirPods on, but I didn't have music on, so I was just like observing and be like, oh. And something funny that happened was the concert starts at 6:30 p.m. and at this point it's probably like 5 p.m. and I made a mental note and I was like, okay, by 5:45 Amirin, you need to stand up and try to secure a better spot. I looked at my watch and it was like 5:38 and I was like, okay, maybe 5:40. And 5:40 rolls up and I stand up and everyone in my section begins to start standing up and hover over to... Girl, I was just like, why are you guys standing up? This was supposed to be my chance. Stood and I secured an okay spot. It wasn't as close as I was during the sound check, but it was still really, really close. And yeah, and then the concert started, and then first of all, the concert exceeded my expectations. Not gonna lie, I've seen fan cams and I also watched their live stream from the Korean concert, and I kind of thought it was like, okay, like good, but seeing it live, it was just insane. Like, it was crazy. And basically the concept of the concert is like a I think it's a time machine. It has like a time machine concept, and the starting VCR, I could literally feel the ground shake because of the sound effects of the time machine. Also, I think what's different between this concert and the one in Singapore and Manila, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm but they also had like pyrotechnics, and they also had fireworks in the venue, so that elevated the experience even more. Genuinely, I'm so happy with the entire set list. I danced my heart out, I sang my heart out. At one point, I lost my voice and I was mouthing the words, but nothing was coming out. But you know what? I'm not even... Who cares about voice at this point? I had so much fun there, and the crowd around me was so nice too. At one point, at 2 points actually. So during Good So Bad, they actually kept singing the chorus over and over. The fans would be like, "Han bandung,
한번더
And then me and the girl next to me were like,
한번더
and we looked at each other and then we like laughed and we were like, yeah, we're gonna do this as much as we can. And then during Yura Yura, if you guys don't know, Yura Yura is originally their Japanese single, but for the concert they sang it in Korean. So I was singing it in Japanese the entire time because I don't memorize the words to the Korean version. So they were singing it in Korean. I could see from my peripheral version that the girl next to me was also singing it in Japanese. So I was just like, okay, like I'm not the only one. So we kept singing. And then at one point, I was singing. She was facing me and she was looking at me, but still singing. And I could tell she was trying to observe whether I was singing in Japanese or not. And as soon as I finished that line, I immediately looked at her and I was like, and she was like, yes, Andrew. And then we were just like laughing, and it was just a wholesome experience to be in that space with people who love the same thing as you do. And it's been 3 days now, guys, and I am really going through the post-concert depression. It's not even funny the amount of times I play the playlist and the amount of time I want to burst into tears, and I just keep going back to the fan camps just to relive the memories. And I really hope this isn't the last time I get to see them live. Yeah, and that's gonna mark the end of this video. I really wanted to document this because I just really want a visual memory of this. I really enjoyed making content this time, and I don't know, let me know if you guys want to see more about, you know, my life here. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-part vlog. I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!
멀리서 보는